Clearly, you have been chosen by heaven for a great purpose. I see the makings of a new legend here. Allow me to call you Bannerlord.
He said it! He said it!
Hi, I'm Rocco, and I'm addicted to games with a medieval aesthetic. As long as there is something that even looks like a sword, I'm in. It all started with Age of Empires 2, and then came Warcraft, Diablo, Daggerfall, Total War, Crusader Kings, Empire Earth, and the list goes on. But I don't know, I always felt like something was missing. Some games were great strategically, but you were too far from the action. And in the action ones, the strategy was way too simple. Either you beat the game, or you break your mouse, whichever happens first. Then, around 2004, a game called Mount & Blade came out. Among its few polygons, even fewer quests, and the weird noise my PC made when battles went over 20 soldiers, I found something I didn't even know I needed. Mount & Blade combines the satisfaction of strategy with the epicness of action. Its combat is easy to learn but hard to master, especially because you are not the chosen one. There is no main story. The idea is that you write your own, driven by your own ambition. It's a game with infinite potential, so much that it even sparked ambition outside of the game, moving a huge community to create thousands of mods. It's such a special game that, even today, very few have dared to copy its formula, and even fewer have succeeded. Mount & Blade is Age of Empires from inside the battlefield. It's everything Crusader Kings is missing. It's more epic than being the Dragonborn. It's the dream of anyone who sees a sword in every stick lying on the ground. And it is one of the best examples of how ambition can be a driving force that keeps a game alive, or the cause of its downfall. Inside the game, ambition is everything. In Mount & Blade, you start alone and with nothing, yet you can rise to become the ruler of everyone and everything. The difference is that here you have to get your hands dirty to make it happen. Every achievement will cost you blood, sweat and gold, but mostly blood and screens. Lots of screens. You live and die alongside the soldiers you trained from mere recruits. Soldiers who, in a way, have their own hero's journey alongside you. Thankfully you can't name them, or it will hurt even more when your Blandian Bannered Knight dies to a looter. A lot of people criticize the game for its lack of interesting quests or a clear path to follow. But I think that's the game's way of telling you that you make the story here. Others complain that the late game isn't as fun as the start, but that's where ambition comes in. This isn't a game meant for one eternal save file. The real fun is starting a story with a self-imposed goal and chasing it as long as your ambition drives you. Once it fades, you make a new character and start again. That's its gameplay loop, creating hundreds of stories fueled by your own ambition, not the game's. Maybe you want to conquer the world, wipe out a specific kingdom, build an army made entirely of archers, become the most wanted criminal, the king of merchants, or a tournament legend. You choose what ambition drives you, and when to stop and begin anew. Those ambitions from thousands of players have kept the series alive for years, overflowing beyond the game itself. From the very moment this game was released, people wanted more. We could all see from the very beginning the huge potential behind this idea, and we wanted to be part of its growth. First of all, this saga has spent years receiving feedback from a tremendously active community, which has allowed them to release updates with free improvements and new features. That's been true for the original Mount & Blade, Warband, and Bannerlord. But beyond that, the community has done its own work, creating a lot of mods, adding new mechanics, items, maps, kingdoms, and crossovers with franchises that seemed born to fit in this game, and others not so much. Many of us who have played this game see its enormous potential, which awakens our ambition to see more, to see it grow. But for many others, that same ambition turns into frustration when the game doesn't meet their personal ideal. It's true, there is a lot that could be polished or added to Mount & Blade to make it almost the perfect game. But first, I'm not sure many of those things are even possible for an engine that's already barely holding together. Just ask my PC fan. And second, I think the real problem lies more on our side as players. More and more, we judge games by what we want them to be, rather than what they actually are. Mount & Blade is a hard game to explain, which is why, just like I did at the start of this video, people tend to define it by comparing it to other games. That same tendency is what fuels criticism. It lacks the management depth of Crusader Kings, the strategic precision and unit balance of Age of Empires, the combat realism of Kingdom Come. And sometimes, those criticisms makes us forget that the real merit of this game is that it's the only one that combines all of those elements. But hey, I am not saying criticism is bad either. That's what happens when a game carries as much potential as Mount & Blade. It creates both wonder and frustration. It awakens the community's ambition, which brings both creation and destruction, because for some reason we always think it could be better. And that's perfectly natural. The real problem begins when that ambition is used to manipulate us. When the War Sales DLC for Bannerlord was announced, I was excited, but also a little worried, because it made me think about how other games manipulate us to get our beautiful, limited money. The most common method is through hype. A trailer that says everything and nothing, interviews promising us the universe, and countless ways to make us believe in our game's potential, to awaken that ambition inside us. So we give them our money or our precious attention. Then the game never comes out, or if it does, it's garbage. Like the day before, Alien Colonial Marines and hundreds of NFT games. Others launch in disastrous conditions, which nowadays is almost a given for AAA titles, like Cyberpunk 2077, Watch Dogs, No Man's Sky, and many more. Some eventually get fixed, but others are abandoned or erased entirely, like Mass Effect Andromeda, Anthem, or Concord. By playing with our ambition as gamers, they get us to hand over our money, time, and attention to projects that are fraudulent, failed, incomplete, or even non-existent. But there is another way they exploit our ambition to see a game grow. One that publishers like Paradox, Electronic Arts, and World's Edge have turned into an art form. Selling us incomplete games and then making us spend the GDP of a small country on infinite DLCs. We are talking about genuinely good games, full of potential, but with tiny improvements that could be in a 50 megabytes free update, become a DLC Game Changer Definitive Edition for $10, or $40 if you want the Season Pass with all the DLCs that we don't know what they are about yet, but without them you are basically nobody. It happens with Hearts of Iron 4, which has been releasing DLCs for almost 10 years, because apparently they can't count to 5. It happens with Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition and its broken civilizations in multiplayer mode. It happens with The Sims 4 and its more than 100 DLCs, which add up to more than $1,300. These companies take players' interest, feedback, and passion and sell it back to them as a product, pushing this practice to the extreme for years and years. And the thing is, it's become the norm. Nintendo even announced a DLC for a game before releasing the actual game. So far, the team behind Mount & Blade has behaved much better than others. They've given us hundreds of improvements and some new mechanics through free updates. And War Sales is their first paid DLC in 3 years, and for now I think it includes enough content to justify it being paid. But I can't help thinking about all those great games that ended up corrupted by ambition. Not just that of the players, but also that of the people behind them. Hopefully it will be a great DLC, a good step forward, and not the first of many steps towards the same trends plaguing the market today. There are good reasons to have faith in these devs. But you know what? I don't even blame those publishers. Their job is to make money. Our job as consumers is to protect it, and to recognize who is doing things right. Should you buy a game that announced the DLC before even launch? Should you pay extra for early access when you don't even know if it will run or just turn out to be a crash simulator? Should you pay $10 for a DLC that could be in a free update? I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. I barely know what I'm doing with mine. I'm just here to remind you that how we consume matters. What we buy and who we buy it from shapes the entire market. It's perfectly fine to get hyped about a project, to let its potential awaken your ambition, but we need to stay alert, because that's exactly when we are most vulnerable. And we should also appreciate those who have done things right, those who have respected their community, maybe with a few mistakes, but definitely with more good than bad. Bannerlord still has a way to go before reaching its full potential. And who knows, maybe it never will. But I think regardless of that, its greatest conquest isn't the creation of a perfect empire, but the rise of a community whose ambition knows no limits.
As new leaders arise, from new places and new peoples, to turn back the tides of destruction and bring forth a new world from the ashes of the old.
And that's how we reach the end of this video. I always come back to this game, but this is the first time I've done it since starting this channel, so I wanted to dedicate a few words to it, because I truly believe this game deserves much more recognition than it gets, and it's already got quite a bit. So, what about you? What's been your favorite Mount & Blade story? What mechanic would you like to see improved or added? What future DLC do you think will be worth it? I'll be reading the comments, and I usually reply if I had something at least halfway interesting to add. In any case, I sincerely hope this video was worth your time, and really thank you for stopping by. You can also subscribe and give it a like if you want, and if not, it's okay, maybe next time. Take care, don't stay up too late, drink water and all that stuff. See you in the next video. Bye.